rhymes, and all those other good funky joints. This is Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Yeah, man. Did y'all miss me? Did y'all miss me? I bet you did. Because I missed me. That's the thing. I missed me. That's how long I've been gone. But I'm back. And so, therefore, I might as well go ahead and get busy. Probably caught y'all off guard. Y'all probably just chalked it up like, you know what, Kev's probably done. He probably forget, just decided to call it quits. But I didn't. I'm still here. I'm still here doing my thing. It's just that work's been kind of crazy. So I see I got one person that got a notification, which probably is just me. I'm probably the one person. So I'm going to wait for a second and see if others start getting notifications while I go ahead and chat with myself. Hello, Kevin. It's good to see you back. Yeah, let's see here. I just sent a message to myself. All right. Give people a couple seconds here to get the notifications and see what happens. Uh-oh. I see 17 people. 17. Can we get 18? All right. Chrissy's back. Oh, shoot. The number's growing. I'm here for it, Kev. Oh, okay. Yeah. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Let some people go ahead and start chiming in. Speaking of that, while we're waiting, stop and think about it. The one that I'm actually watching the show on from my other phone, please subscribe to that channel and set your notifications on all, because that's the channel, number one, that we're showing all of the short clips and probably some archive clips of Kev from Kevin's Corner, which either if you haven't been watching the show for years, you probably want to go back through and check out a couple of those clips just to see the evolution that took place, or as references, or just for farts and giggles. What? Nicaragua. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I've arrived. Sending love from Arizona. Yeah, there it is, y'all. I'm glad you're back. Me too. Tell you, man, work be tough. Today, oh man. You ever been like, 2 or 3 minutes away from quitting? You're like, man, if I have to work 3 more minutes, that's my breaking point. If I have to work 3 more minutes, I'm quitting. There it is. Yep. Looking at the clock like I better get off now, because the 3 minutes from now, that's it. I'm quitting. I had to work overtime because, on the line, I'm a line operator. And so you have to produce steel that needs to be shipped out. And if you haven't finished your product or your orders to be shipped out, you got to stay over. And my machine was acting a fool. Me and the machine was squabbling all night long, fighting, tussling, man. Yeah. So I had to stay over unexpectedly. And boy, I tell you, my back, my neck, my back end, my neck, everything was hurting. Oh boy. So I came home and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to sleep, set my clock. And no matter what happens, I'm going to make it my mission to get up and do this live show, because I've been meaning to get to this since the last time y'all saw the show. Now, if you haven't seen the show, the last live stream, I was talking about these crazy behind liberals and Democrats who are flipping out because Donald Trump decides to crack down on crime. And, it just goes to show, thank you very much. It just goes to show how crazy liberals are and how crazy Democrats are when it comes down to orange man bad, even when it comes down to sensible things that almost every human being can relate to, understand, and support. Cracking down on crime. I don't know one person who actually likes crime. Not even these dumb liberals. They will tolerate crime long as it doesn't impact them. But if it came down to them, you would hear them screaming out, call the police. A couple weeks ago when I did my live stream and we were showing how these folks went down to Alcatraz, and the police, or they start getting in trouble with ICE, and when they were going after them and grabbing them and stuff, the one guy was screaming, call the police, where's the police? And I'm going, no, that shouldn't be y'all style. Y'all demonize police, y'all demonize law enforcement so much to where you should be going, call a guidance counselor, call a social worker, call somebody who cannot, talk me into calming down and accepting what's going on in my life. Yeah, that's what you should be doing. But nope, soon as they get in trouble, call the police. That's what they do. So we'll be finishing up talking about what they're doing in a second. But first things first, I got to get loose so I can get busy. Oh, yeah. Oops, that's not how I need to get busy. I need to switch that sound out. That's what I need to do. Bring it up close and personal. There we go. In stereo for you guys. Real gold gorilla. Real gold gorilla. Real gold gorilla. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, buddy. Now, don't forget there's a Kevin's Corner store in here too that will allow you to get some merchandise if you like it and want it. Also, that number on the screen, 330-974-4607, is the number you can go ahead and reach out to connect with Kevin. And see, just text MAGA to that number, and then, of course, you'll be locked in just in case they somehow try to unerase me. That we got to make up terms for the liberals. Unexist me, stuff like that. Disappear me. You'll know that Kev been disappeared. I'll just text everybody like, I've been disappeared, y'all. Been disappeared. And then finally, of course, if you want to support the channel through my Cash App, my PayPal link, all of that stuff, or just simply the super chat, like somebody who just donated $19.99. 19 what? You already know. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. Bum, ba, bum, ba. Oh yeah. But when I woke up this morning, could have swore it was Judgment Day. Y'all know the songs, cause see, y'all all about my age. The sky was all purple, there were people running everywhere. Dun, 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 dun. I tried to run from my destruction, you know I didn't even care. Oh man, boy, I tell you, that seems so far away when we were young boys and girls. What, 1999? I bet you we're going to have flying cars and stuff in 1999. It came and went. Still ain't got my flying car yet. Anyway, all right. But so please, don't distract me because you know I'll do it. You know I'll do it. All right. So let's see. Here we go. Oh, and then, of course, let's see. I think that might be it. All right. So let's go ahead and get busy talking about the silliness, because look whose face is right there. See that one right there? The pretty dumb girl. Abby Phillips. Cute and dumb at the same time. How you gonna be that? Cute and dumb. That's a bad combo. Yeah, I mean, smart men will only tolerate you so long. So far. They will only overlook your stupidity so long. Like, man, talking to your boys. Dude, I mean, she's fine and all, but man, she dumb. She dumb. Yeah, I feel you, bro. That's a tough one. Maybe I can mold her into my own image. Maybe I can download some sense into her. But no, when it's in the bone, it's in the bone. So here she is, guys. She's talking about Donald Trump's takeover of DC and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Question is, does the situation actually warrant such a dramatic and provocative response? Or, as Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, says, is DC just the first step of militarizing cities like dictators do?
Now you see that? She wants to go ahead and throw in and insert an opinion from an extremely left-leaning politician out in California. Yeah, she want to use his comment as weight for her argument. That does it warrant what's going on, or is it more like what Gavin Newsom is saying? Because see, we want all of our audience to think that Gavin Newsom has a accurate assessment of what's going on. The guy who has a dookie map out there in California to show where not to go. There you go. You don't want to go to these locations because you might step in human feces. Not animals, not dogs, not cat poop, nothing. Okay? Human feces. That guy. The guy who can't run his own state because of all of the burning down of stuff because of the brush fires. And the guy who is a sanctuary city or state where they got all these illegal immigrants running around and all of that crime. Yeah, see, they're the original OGs. The state that said, let's lower the shoplifting amount to $900 and under so that all of the young scholars that should be arrested should be doing what he's doing in D.C. out there in California. As we watched montage after montage of young adults running into those stores, ripping them off, and owners talking about there's nothing we can do. We got to shut it down, got to move out of this city, got to shut down businesses because of the crime. That guy, she wants to go ahead and use as a reference to support her biased argument to suggest that Donald Trump is just simply trying to go ahead and take over. That's all this is. This is a sly way of him trying to go ahead and take over DC. No, it's just him responding to an actual problem because Democrats don't know how to govern. That's what it is. Let me see something here. Make me mad. Stupid old Abby. But I ain't done with her. Let's continue.
Senior legal analyst Joey Jackson joins us in our fifth seat. Okay. It's an obvious point why Trump would start with D.C. because D.C. is the one place in this country where there's a little bit more leeway to do this. But I think the question people are asking themselves is this a trial run for more?
Oh, God. Now, is this a trial run for more? For more what? For more law and order? For more cleaning up the streets? Because if that's the case, I love it. If this is laying the groundwork of how we can deal with a lot of these S-hole ran Democrat cities and states, I love it. If folks in these horrific states and cities get a whiff of what's going on up there in D.C., and if it's working, which it is, I didn't have time to insert the clip of all of the new, wonderful, updated information and data to show how just in a week or so, all of the crime is dropping. Why is that? Isn't it funny when conservatives finally say, let's go ahead and implement good, common sense policies, all of these negative stats start to trend the other way? I mean, look at that border. Remember that border, y'all? They was talking about we can't do anything about it. The seasonal and all of this, and these folks are coming for a better life, and Congress needs to go ahead and make a change to the all of these excuses they gave, and all it took was a leader with some common sense and the will to implement common sense policies to shut that mess down. Now we might be negative on the border? How do you do that? You're telling me now we got negative people coming across that border, whereas when Joe Biden and the Democrats were in charge, it was thousands and thousands of folks a day. Now, isn't that odd? When are folks going to wake up and realize it is not, the people who are just overwhelming us and the crime is just too great and we're doing our best? It's the leadership that allows it and tolerates it. I mean, it's the same thing with parents. Me, former educator, I would watch parents, boy, I tell you, man, some parents has it right. Other parents you looking at going, you gonna let that kid grow up and be a monster. I'm sitting there wanting to tap in so I can go ahead and discipline your kid. Here you are trying to negotiate with a 7-year-old. And I'm going, you gotta be kidding me. This 7-year-old is gonna be running the whole household. Let me at him. But it ain't my kid. I gotta sit back and watch this parent get ran over, muscled, and manipulated by a 7-year-old instead of a good old-fashioned walk out there and go get me some switches. Those ones where you pull the leaves all off at once. There you go. I don't even see those anymore. What happened to did all the kids coming up go out there and start chopping those trees down so they can't get whoopings? Because I don't even see those trees anymore. Hey, go out, you could break the limb and go grab about 5 of them mugs, braid them up. Now you got something like a whip. My grandmother and my mom and them want to see me whip you, want to see me right. Give me just another F for some time tonight, working on me. But yet, folks don't do those things anymore, so therefore you get youth and this out of control in these cities like DC. And here she is trying to go and pretend that Donald Trump is doing this for a prototype so he can take over more cities for no reason. Just because he's a dictator. Not because he's looking at this and saying these are problems that need to be solved and they are urgent because lives are at stake. Not that. This is all simply because Donald Trump is just a white supremacist, white nationalist guy who wants to just go ahead and take over cities that are ran by black people. Nope, that's nothing to do with black people. As you will hear some of these folks say, what do they all have in common? They're all mayors that have minorities running those. Well, they're running them into the ground. That's the problem. Running them into the ground. So let's continue. Here we go.
So it could be, all right? So there's a couple of considerations, Abby. The first, of course, political, and that's a story I think that needs to be talked about, whether it's warranted, whether it's appropriate. You played the clip there. If crime is down, and of course some suggest it's down, lowest in 30 years, is this necessary? The next is the legal. So there's two things to look at with respect to whether it's legal. The first thing is, D.C., we all know, is very different from any other American city. Why? Because Congress...
Because it's an SO-ran city. There you go. All that crime taking place right down the street from the White House. President out there posted up a couple blocks away, and they're like, let's go ahead and act the fool. Let's go ahead and act the fool. Because, see, we know that law enforcement is not a threat. Once folks get wind that they have weak leadership and there's no consequences, do you think they're going to pump the brakes and self-regulate? You know, as a former educator again, there were teachers who would try to negotiate with the students. Come on, guys, please stop. No, please be quiet, guys. Come on. You do look, I don't want to. Would you please? And I'm going, That's not going to work. That's not going to work. You need to drop some type of hammer on those kids because they smell blood in the water. They're sitting back doing stuff right in front of you because they know Mrs. So-and-so ain't going to do nothing. She ain't going to do nothing. Let people get wind of you not doing anything. They will do things right in your face because they know, what are you going to do? Thus, you get all of these Democrat cities who are soft on crime, where folks are out there doing things right in broad daylight. Yeah, they've taken their criminal activity out of the hood right into the, the mainstream district where, folks are actually running business. You're sitting there downtown and you see folks getting carjacked, mugged. A whole bunch of young folks running in the stores, just looting and taking off because they're going, what are you going to do? I mean, imagine being a police officer where they have shackled your hands. I worked for a principal years ago as a teacher, and he let the kids know that y'all ain't got to listen to the teachers. Y'all only have to respond to me. I will always have your back over the teacher's back. Do you know those kids in that school wreaked havoc? That's the story that I told y'all, that one lady got mad and said she's going to get a kid suspended or expelled. And he said, man, you ain't going to get me expelled, man. I'm worth 30 G's. I mean, I got an IUD. Didn't even know what an IEP was. I got an IUD. Shoot, you'll be gone before I will. And the teacher couldn't do nothing but just drop her head because she knew the kid was right. She knew that, man, this kid right now will go to the principal and the principal might fire me. So those kids knew that we could do pretty much whatever we want to do because the leadership was weak. And the leadership supported us more than they supported the actual, law of the school. Nah, forget that mess. Yeah, let the kids wreak havoc all over the place. And that's what's going on in these cities. Folks will only do what you allow them to do. Thus the border. Yeah, there you go. You see how that works, guys? Those people realize that, wait a minute, Trump won't allow us to come across this border at will and it's give any old type of excuse. So how about we just not come? We realize there's a different leader, a leader that will actually implement consequences for our actions. But no, under Biden, what did they do? Crossing the border right in front of these border patrols' faces. Why is that? Because the leadership let these folks know that you can do whatever you want because, see, you don't have to answer to them. The people on the front line that are supposed to be stopping y'all, yeah, we're over, mining them by just saying, hey, you know what, don't listen and don't worry about them. Matter of fact, go right up to them and just say, I'm here for my asylum. I used to have to be scared to run across open fields and go through water and things like that, but I don't have to do that anymore. They told me I could come right up to you and say, excuse me, S.A. Holmes, can I get some of that asylum? And then you're looking at all of these Border Patrol agents, like teachers that couldn't discipline the kids, got to sit back and, yeah, okay, come on up, man, whatever. All right, what's your name again? Never mind, it don't even matter. All that stuff is, yeah, go ahead in, man. Embarrassing. But now look at them. They're proud, y'all. They're feeling good about their job. So let's continue. Here we go.
Has enacted legislation to allow it to be largely under federal control. What does that mean practically? It means practically that Congress essentially could do whatever it wants in terms of overturning anything the city council does. It also means that the president of the United States is in charge of the National Guard. That distinguishes D.C. from any other state in the country where you have governors that are in charge. So he clearly has more authority, that is the president, as it relates to doing things in D.C.
So shut your mouths, liberals. Shut your mouths, Democrats. All of this talk about that, he's just doing this to take over. Look, it's political because it is political by default. That's what it is. The first goal and agenda is to shut that mess down, to create a prototype of how to deal with these S-hole ran Democrat cities. Show everybody that all it takes is a little will. And look, all of these things are starting to change when it comes down to crime. Now, what makes it political is the reaction that people have to common sense things and Trump's ability and desire to go ahead and implement some type of change when it is warranted. If they would shut up and not make it political, not take the side of the criminals, not sit back and try to pretend that, oh, here we go again, Trump's doing this again. Look, he's taking over all of these cities and states because he wants to be a dictator. Most of the stuff to give Trump all of this attention is because of the reaction that comes from the left, the reaction that comes from Democrats, and of course the liberal media that gives it attention to where folks might not even know what he's doing up there in DC. If the media wasn't talking about it all the time, if they weren't platforming folks to come on and whine about, oh God, this is it, this is the last stage of totalitarianism and stuff like that, if they wouldn't do that, folks probably wouldn't even know what's going on. Trump wouldn't make a big deal of it. He would just say, let's go ahead, clean this mess up, keep it moving. But nope, not them. Their reaction makes it political and politically expedient for Trump, because when he deals with these real life issues, what happens is the dummies take the side of the stupidest, side of the situation. They're like, well, you know what, let's go ahead and act like this crime is not real and act like Trump cleaning these cities up is just racism and stuff like that. Let's take the stupid side. That's what they want to do. They want to take the stupid side. Thus, then it becomes political. People look at this and say, so wait a minute, y'all are mad that he is cleaning up these nasty ran cities and getting homeless folk off the street and stopping the carjacking. Keep it up, Trump. You keep doing this, I might come to DC to visit. There it is. And not have to worry about my man truck disappearing as soon as I step out of it. See, before this, folks would rob your car right in front of your face. Here I am, get out, turn around, and this dude's already in my car. I'm like, what the? How'd you get there? You know what, bro? I already pickpocketed and I'm about to bounce. You can't steal my car in front of my face. Absolutely, I can. We've been doing this up here in DC for a while. Doing it. Wow. So let's continue.
The other issue, finally, is whether or not he can usurp the authority of the locals in terms of the police commissioner, the fire, etc. And that is a question of whether there is an emergency. So on the one hand, National Guard, he's the commander-in-chief, send them in. On the other hand, could he now suggest or otherwise employ the locals to be under federal control? That's an issue which would be whether it's an emergency, and these are emergency conditions.
Yeah, this is an emergency, okay? All right, I mean, if I was a DC resident, a actual law-abiding citizen in DC, I would be like, yo, somebody come up here and rescue us from this chaos and nonsense. Yeah, just like these folks are. I got video clips I didn't get a chance to show because I want to finish this one. And of course, we'll probably be talking about this topic as long as Trump still is knocking it out the park up there. But you got people, regular people up there in DC that said, thank you. Man, I was hoping somebody would come in and clean up this mess. Thank you, Trump. Thank you. But they'll never show those people. See, they only want to show the folks that they send out there to act the fool and overreact and act like, oh, this is racism. He's a racially profiling and all of that stuff. Just like they selectively show folks criticizing Trump over his foreign policy, and they don't show all of the folks that's saying Trump should win the Nobel Peace Prize, like the Dalai Lama and all of those folks, the Hare Krishnas and stuff like that. They all came out today and said Trump should win the Nobel Peace Prize, y'all. How you like that? But yet we got our dumb Americans over here in our fake news talking about Trump doesn't know what he's doing. Putin's running all over him. And you know what? And I'm going, boy, I tell you, it's almost treacherous the way that they try to throw mud and discredit our president, who's doing a great job. Yeah, doing stuff that I'm saying, yeah, you recognize problems and you're not just walking by like Democrats do. Yeah, you're not just turning your head like you don't see issues that's going on in our country. You're saying, what the heck? Is anybody doing anything? No? Okay, let's do something. And when you do it, Trump said, trying to be a dictator and stuff.
To your earlier point, I mean, when on the one hand they're saying that crime is plummeting, and on the other hand they're saying that this is an emergency and it's never been this bad, those two things don't really coincide.
No, see, yes, they do. Because, see, plummeting to you, first of all, what does that mean? Crime is plummeting. That's just like saying, okay, you know what? Today, only 90 people got shot. Because yesterday it was 100. So crime is plummeting. It's plummeting. Maybe the criminals just slept in for a day or two. Who knows? Maybe they were distracted with something. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean crime is plummeting to the point where you say, wow, I mean, that's a drastic drop in crime to where we don't need to worry about it anymore. No, what's plummeting right now is what Trump has done that caused carjackings to drop like 90-something%. That's plummeting. Not, you know what, it went from 100% carjackings to 99.9% carjackings. No, we want to see the big numbers drop, just like that border. Just like that border. That's what you can call plummeting. Why don't you cover that, Abby Phillips? Why don't you get on there and say, wow. I mean, this goes to show the difference between, you know, Democrat-ran, you know, country or a Republican-ran country if you got a good Republican. I'm talking about a good one like Trump. He's showing examples of how to truly address these issues and show how it plummets when you address them with common sense policies. So, yeah, those are examples of plummeting. That border plummeted. What Trump is doing right now, the crime plummeted. But under Bowser, just because it fluctuated here and there, went down 1 or 2%, come back up all over the place. That doesn't mean it's plummeting, Abby. Use correct, accurate definitions to describe it. That's what I'm saying. Not to mention, those crime statistics are being skewed. None of these fake news programs are talking about the police, whatever he is, you know, under investigation about messing with the books, cooking the books. See, because when you can't govern correctly, you got to go ahead and cook the books. So let's continue.
This is about control and distraction for Donald Trump. If he were serious about cutting crime, he won't be proposing cutting $400 million from the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Department to regulate and help with guns.
Oh, see, there we go. That's smoke and mirrors for Donald Trump. If it was about cutting crime, he'd be the tobacco industry. Nope, I don't want to hear it. See, once again, all of this crap, DC got, you know, restrictions on guns. All of these SO-ran Democrat cities and states who have strong, high gun legislation, the crime doesn't go down. Isn't that funny? How they have the strongest, you know, gun legislation and the crime still goes up because the criminals don't care about the law. They go out and they get these guns anyway. The only people who get punished because of their tough on guns legislation is the law-abiding citizens. Isn't that odd? Democrats punish the law-abiding folks and reward the criminals. So now here this guy is trying to say if Trump was really out there trying to be tough on crime, he would do this stuff that would not even scratch the surface of crime. Wouldn't even do anything to bring down crime because criminals don't respect the law, buddy, when it comes down to guns.
Or cutting $500 million from the FBI, 700 agents.
Oh, God. You mean the compromised FBI that has a lot of bureaucrats that needed to be cut out of there that really probably should be dismantled, you know, but here you are, the same at the FBI that went ahead and, you know, harassed all the folks up there on J6 that didn't do nothing. The folks out there that simply were protesting or showing up at parents, teachers, meetings and stuff like that, and they were taking out our license plates. That FBI, let's continue.
Or the DEA with drug enforcement, or the Office of Violence Against Women.
Drug enforcement. These are all things that he's mentioning that the Democrats never address, never, you know, actually utilize to bring down crime or anything. They didn't even touch on crime. Whatever ideas they claim they had to bring down crime, why didn't all of that work before, buddy? That's my question. When we had all of that under Biden, why was the crime still high? Why is it that all of the stuff he's mentioning that was in place at one point never brought down the crime? But you know what did? You know what did? What Trump is doing right now. Right now, there's anecdotal evidence to show what he's doing right now in DC is working. But here's this guy talking about things that existed in the past, but you know what else existed? High crime. So why wasn't it working then, pal?
and 100 million from there, right? This is about control. First he went for the press, then he went for the universities, then he went.
Here it is. See, this is why they're going to lose on this. It's always about control because Donald Trump just wants control over everybody's life. Donald Trump's just a dictator. He wants to come in and just show examples. It's not because it is warranted that DC needs somebody to come in and clean it up because it's obviously a mess. It's just about control. So Donald Trump woke up one morning and said, you know what? Everything looks hunky-dory over here in DC. Crime is down. There's no carjackings. There's no violent attacks. Murder rate is down. But I want to show control. So let me go ahead and just take over DC. Now, isn't it odd that the police is saying, thank you, Trump. Isn't it odd that law enforcement is excited about partnering up with Trump? That's funny, isn't it? The folks that's responsible for dealing with crime and bringing down crime, they're celebrating this. They're going, good job, Donald Trump. Thank you for coming in. Because, see, our leadership would have never let this happen. They would have never let this happen. So isn't that odd? So now these fools are trying to cope. They're trying to make it seem like it's all about control or distraction from the Epstein things and stuff.
For the lawyers, then the federal workforce, and now it's the cities. This is about him having control, making an example out of DC. He's going to move on to these.
No, DC is making an example out of themselves. And yes, if he is going to make an example out of DC, it's going to be a great example. It's going to be an example to show all the other cities how you do it. This is how you do it. Do. This is how you do it. That's what it is. It's going to be an example of this is how you do it. Okay? Yeah, you want to really clean up your SO-ran cities? First things first, vote out all the Democrats. Secondly, go ahead and, empower the law enforcement to do their job and then have strong penalties for criminals. There you go. This is how you do it.
Other cities, by the way, that also, as you mentioned, have the plummeting homicide rates that DC does, and also distract from the Epstein files.
There it is. Let me go ahead out here and try to push a narrative that smart people will look at and say, that's stupid. That's just stupid. Why are you? Now, here we go. You got to bring in the distract from Epstein files and stuff. Oh, did y'all hear Bill Barr recently had to testify, and he said there was nothing linking Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. Isn't that weird? Yeah, that we all knew that. I wonder if they're going to finally shut up about this whole Trump and the Epstein files and distract him from that stupid left-wing talking points that he can only get away with on CNN, because I'm not there. Now, I know Scott Jennings holds it down, but somebody need to sprinkle a little care from Kevin's Corner right in the midst of that, so I can go to work. All right, good morning from where? Let's see where that was from. Well, I can't even pronounce the first part, but Thailand. There you go, from Thailand. Good morning to you. All right, so let's continue watching these folks get out here and try to put all of these motives towards why Trump is doing this, but yet not address the true motive, that the crime is out of control, is not plummeting, and stop using that. So here we go.
Doing with all these things that he's been rolling out.
I mean, I hear you chuckling, Ben, but there's no question that it is mostly politics here, because
I hear you chuckling. You know why he's chuckling? Because that was stupid what he just heard. There it is. Yeah. See, either I would be getting mad or I'd be laughing at that stupid dude who just got out there and threw all of that stupidity out there instead of the real answer. The crime is out of control. So now here's Abby, the dumb cute girl. Here we go. I hear you chuckling, Dada. So let's see why he's chuckling.
If you wanted to deal with violent crime, really, where it's really bad in this country, there are a lot of places that he could start.
But he can start in the nation's capital where it is really bad. And if you look at the numbers, I understand you're excited about a 30-year low. He's saying we're not done yet. You start and you keep going, and there are people there that are dying. There's people, go back to 2023. For every 100,000 people, 1,200 violent crimes.
Okay. Don't do it. Don't you do that. Don't you use that kryptonite on these dumb libs by bringing out facts and data. You hear Abby come in immediately. Okay. Now don't sit back and drop the real numbers out there. Let our bootleg guy, who just ripped off a lot of propaganda, which Abby did not interrupt him. She let that dude just get out there and throw all of that stuff out. If Donald Trump really wanted to stop and bring down crime, he would deal with this and this and that. It's about authoritarianism. It's about control. Is that she didn't interrupt him once. This man starts off, soon as you start reading the stat, what she did? Okay.
And
I know it's incredibly convenient to go back to 2023.
See? You hear that? That's the biased moderator that they done got in that funky joint right there. Okay. I know it's not that. Why don't you let him read those stats? Well, why you had to interrupt him, Abby? Cute dumb. So why you got to do that?
Well, those are when we had numbers. So I'm trying to be accurate.
No, we have 2024 numbers. When 2023, you're right, there was a spike in violent crime in DC and in other parts of the country. But I think the point is that
the point is we got to try to get out here and push the narrative that Donald Trump is taking over the country because he's a dictator and he's targeting black folks and he's targeting black mayors and that's what we got to do. See, so I got to go ahead and interrupt you and give time though for these stupid people to push their narratives that I agree with.
Crime is on the decline. It's not just a DC thing. It's across the country.
I agree, and a lot of it's leadership of Trump.
No, it was happening before Trump. It has nothing to do with.
I strongly disagree.
Hold on a second.
I strongly disagree too.
What evidence do you have that it's the
Number
leadership
one,
of Donald Trump?
when you have the President of the United States of America that's enabling law enforcement to do their job, when you have ICE agents that are going out
then
there,
why did
when
the-
you're getting
why did the
violent,
trend start before Trump was
finish.
See, there you go. Yeah, there you go. It's useless to go ahead and try to push the truth on this network because see, here she is. She is the last line of defense when it comes down to shutting down any truth that comes out of these people right here. Yeah, so she'll let them spar back and forth, but she's of course fixing the fight. Yeah, the ref now has jumped into the ring and she's attacking this guy right here. Yeah, she's not letting him and the other stupid guy just go one-on-one with the facts. No, that's not her job. But why? And notice she got to talk while he's dropping out the information to talk over him. To make you have to go, what did he just say? What did he just say?
But
When you have a president
hold
that
on,
says,
Ben. Why would the trend start before Trump was president if those are the reasons that
I go back to what I was saying a second
Thank
ago.
you.
You look at the president, he's empowered law enforcement to do their job. We are seeing numbers come down.
So by that logic,
you have a
President
president
Biden-
who has decided.
So by-
Can I hear? Can I hear what the man got to say? Good googly moo. Jeez, oh man. And not to mention, they did a poll to show the difference between Trump and Biden when it comes down to crime. Overwhelmingly, Americans, trust Trump way better on crime than Biden. So let's continue though.
Biden was not tough on crime.
Okay,
I don't think anyone would say that he was.
By that same logic, okay, why would violent crime start plummeting in 2024?
It wasn't plummeting.
It went down 50%.
Yeah, it went down significantly.
If you talk to people that live in where I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, they would not say it plummeted.
I guess what I'm saying is
that's just not true.
50%.
Don't
Yeah,
let-
you hear that? Plummeting. The terms that they try to use to suggest that Trump's just overreacting. Yeah, there you go. Crime is plummeting. There you go. I guess just like that border was also, sealed up. The border is secure. Inflation is transitory. All of the things that they use to try to say that what Donald Trump is saying is happening isn't true. Because Democrats, once again, they will skew the books, the data, the information, just like under Biden, the greatest threat to the homeland was white supremacy. There it is. You think that statistic was true? The greatest threat was right-wing violence. Now, they'll get out there and they'll tell us these things, but the reality is what we see and hear does not line up with Democrat policies and talking points that they use to try to pretend that we're governing good. We're doing stuff. Things are great under us. And I'm saying, no, wait, they don't seem great. You're saying inflation is down and there's plummeting. And I go to the pump and I got to get $1 of gas. There you go. Just to make it to the next gas station. This is a $1 at each gas station, $1 until I make it home. Stuff like that. Got to go ahead on a bacon buying strike because the bacon was too high to purchase. They're sitting back telling us the border is secure. Y'all are overreacting. And all of this, making a big to-do of nothing. And I see thousands and thousands of people coming every day. Y'all are going to sit back and you're telling us all of these things are fine. And we're saying, no, they're not. Then on the flip side of that, they're sitting back telling you, you know what, the jab, you need to get the jab because all of these folks are just dying. There's bodies everywhere. And I'm walking around going, I don't know about that. I don't see humans on the side of the road piled up. Yeah, it's not like one of those Ebola drops where you see folks that's getting buried in ditches because of so many folks that done died in the village. Not seeing that, but y'all are telling us this because that's how you govern. That's the style. See, so here we go. Let's continue because we're about to get into some dumb people who believes this mess.
Don't let. I know you don't want to let facts get in the way of the
what?
political talking point.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
The point
I
I was
actually think
making.
that if you were to take politics out of the whole situation, there are a lot of complex reasons why crime goes up and why they go down, right?
Yes.
And usually the president has not a single thing to do
You
with
lead
it.
on the issue.
What? What? Yeah. Well, usually he doesn't. Until now. That's the problem. He should have. Any president should be involved in this. When he looks across the country and he says, wow, why are these cities so crime riddled? What are the factors that contribute to this? Who are the people governing? And what can I do to help the citizens that live in these cities and states, feel safe? Because that is the number one goal of the president. Keep the citizens and the homeland safe. There you go. But so many years we have presidents to say, well, it ain't my problem. Let that city just implode because I can't do nothing. The governor runs that state. The mayors run these cities. So just go ahead and let it implode. I'm not going to weigh in. I'm not going to put a spotlight on these folks. I'm not going to highlight the crime. I'm not going to give any suggestions. I'm not going to offer any support. Not going to do anything. I'm going to let these cities and states just be a mess. That's what I'm going to do because it ain't my problem. See, but now we got a president that's going, hey, I see a problem. I got to do something about it, especially in D.C., where he has the authority to do so.
Or Republican.
It does have an impact.
Okay, nationwide, let's use actual numbers as
Here we go.
examples.
Here we go.
There are
Actual numbers.
18 other cities that have more violent crime than Washington, D.C. Number one being St. Louis, Missouri. 4 times
Democrats.
the homicide rate of Washington, D.C. I don't see Donald Trump sending National Guard troops and taking over the police department there. Or in Memphis. Or Memphis, Tennessee.
Democrats.
Another red state. Right, okay. Then Memphis was one of the murder
shot
capitals
there.
in the world.
Yeah.
And how come you're
Pretty
not calling
familiar
for
with
Donald Trump to send National Guard troops
Because
in
I
there?
also understand the laws and I understand that it's different in Washington, D.C.
Thank you. I mean, you big dumb blonde. Now you become the dumb blonde girl. So now here's the dumb black blonde girl who is at the YG Senate that's asking Donald Trump to see because he doesn't have the authority to do that. Yeah, he can't just do it in any state or city, but DC's different. She knows that, or maybe she doesn't, because she could be the black dumb blonde girl right here that don't know that. So I bet you if Trump actually had the authority to do it, he probably should and would. I'm sure the law-abiding citizens that are victims of crime in those states or cities would welcome it. That's once you get past all of the, the line of defense where they stick the angry liberal black folks out there to go ahead and give speeches and swear up and down this is racism and he's targeting these cities because of black folks and this racial profiling, all of that stupid stuff. Once you get past those folks that the Democrats are going to send out to the microphones to claim this is a racist takeover and all of this stuff. Once you get past that, and get to the actual folks that live in those neighborhoods and stuff, you will start to see those people are going, phew, man, thank you, Trump. I used to couldn't let my kids go outside and play over there in the playground, but now I can. I used to have to go and pick my kid up from the bus stop because I didn't know what was going to happen from them walking 1 block to the crib. Now I got to drive my car right up the street just to get the kid. Now I can go ahead and just look out the window. I can look out the window, stuff like that. See, so maybe they should. See, especially when you see the results that take place over what he's doing in D.C. But here's the dumb black blonde girl.
It was
What about New
explaining
York?
that Joey.
What about New York?
He said he wants to also move this little experiment here of taking over cities and police departments to New York, Chicago,
It's amazing how much you
Baltimore.
guys get mad about fighting crime.
Yes, thank you. It's amazing how much they get mad about fighting crime. See, they don't realize the blind spot. Yeah, they're blind because they're mad over crime. And I'm saying, are you kidding me? Y'all are so blinded by your TDS, y'all walk right into the right hook. Y'all don't realize how you sound on these networks. Talk about the why doesn't he do this out there in DC? Why don't he do this? Why don't he do this in New York? Why don't he do? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Why don't he? Maybe if he could, as easily as he's able to do this up there in DC, maybe he could clean up Chicago, who any given weekend you might get 20 or 30 folks shot. There you go. There you go. Maybe he should. So here these folks are. They don't realize how stupid they sound because TDS makes you get blinded by the reality that everybody else is going, do you hear yourself? Do you understand how ridiculous you sound? You're actually out here whining about crime being addressed.
No, don't change the subject. Nobody's getting mad about fighting crime. Let me finish. Nobody's getting mad about fighting crime. I come from a law enforcement family.
Scott was
My
like,
grandfather was the captain of the police department for 40 years in my hometown. My husband was a federal officer.
So what? Drop all those credentials out there if you want to. So what? You're still out here like a black blonde dummy up here talking about some but that. But you know what? My husband's a federal officer, but I'm a propagandist, and they pay me to come on here and say stupid stuff.
Thank you for
unlike
your
you guys,
service, just
actually
like my dad.
support federal law enforcement
Doesn't
officers.
sound like it.
And don't doesn't sound like it.
You're
I'm sorry.
You're mad at Donald Trump for enabling.
You're okay with Donald Trump pardoning 1,600 January 6th.
There we go. Right back to that, y'all. This is their argument whenever it comes down to saying Trump shouldn't be doing this in D.C. because the biggest the crime that ever took place across the whole globe was January 6th, where nobody was killed except one person, Ashley Babbitt. The crime where folks was walking around that building inside of the Velvet Rose. Do 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 do. Nice little tour music playing in the background. Tall and tan and young and lovely. The girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes ah. Folks was just cooling in there for the most part, and yet they're swearing up and down. Donald Trump. No wonder he pardoned them. Because most of them had no idea they was even breaking the law. Doors open, cops walking them through there and stuff like that. And now they're trying to, of course, that's their go-to. Whenever they want to pretend that Donald Trump shouldn't be doing this because he don't care about law enforcement, look at these. I mean, look what happened with January 6th. Boy, they need to let me go ahead and really deal with this January 6th narrative. I really hope they do a deep dive investigation concerning the J6 and all of the things that we were following for years and questioning so we could disprove and blow up that narrative once and for all. We just cannot allow them to continue for the rest of American history to use J6 as an excuse of Donald Trump. He's soft on crime. And you know what? Look at him. He incited an insurrection. And I'm going, there were so many problems with that. I'm not going to relitigate it right now on my show. But if you've been following me, I've gathered so much evidence to show that was an inside job. Inside job, unbelievable. So I hope we investigate that and bring that out at some point, just like the Russia collusion hoax. All of these big fat hoaxes and attacks that they've used for years on Trump. I hope that we blow them wide open so folks can see what was really behind all of this garbage. So yeah, they're still using that talking point. So let's go ahead and move on.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let Joey make a legal
Don't ever
point.
question my support
I
for
want to
law
let Joey make a
Oh, here
legal
we go.
point.
Don't ever question my support, law enforcement stuff. Yo, I can question it because of the stupid thing you just said. Yeah, I don't care about you dropping out the credentials and all of that stuff. And but if you're out there saying stupid stuff, that's what I'm listening to. I'm judging you off of your stupid comments. I don't care about that. You know what? My husband, he's in law enforcement. You're still dropping stupid comments out there that shows that you would rather these states and cities be ran poorly and have crime taking over the whole city than to have Trump go in and deal with it.
And I want to let
Words mean nothing.
Oh, y'all see this? She's back. You see that bass mouth right there? Words mean nothing. You're looking at the nastiest, ugliest chick in Congress. Leatherface. Yeah, she's back. Halloween mask. This October might just go as Mad Max. Do they got a Mad Max the costume out there? Go out there and put that leather face on. Maybe just go and grab a Sharpay. Grab a Sharpay out there. What does this look like? Mad Max. So here she is with that wig and that big mouth. Words mean nothing. Now listen to this propaganda, y'all.
Actions mean everything. Watch this. Watch it very closely. Ask a lot of questions. Focus those cameras on everything that's going on, because this president is trying to lead us into what could be called a civil war.
Y'all hear that? To lead us into what could be called a civil war. No, you are. You are out there trying to incite this type of, violence to take place because of the rhetoric you're using concerning Trump and what he's doing, and trying to convince a lot of liberal idiots that what he's doing is unlawful. And he's taking over your countries, that this is a totalitarian takeover. Y'all got to do something. Y'all got to up your violence and your rhetoric and your throwing stuff and your attacking police officers and your language that you use concerning what Trump is doing and calling him more of a dictator. And we need more, Hitler language and stuff. We need all of that stuff. We would love to see all of our crazy liberals take to the streets and start getting, violent. And perhaps it turns into something to where we could say, see, Trump's responsible for all of this. See, now he wants a civil war. That's the same ugly face that was out there talking about. And Donald Trump has his militias up there in the back hills somewhere training. And we want to find out what the states and cities they're going to be. And yet never had any evidence of that. Yeah, so the Democrats with their language and their rhetoric incite stuff like this. And then you get people that come out like this. This is the reaction of the dumb folks on the ground who bought into all of this mess. So let's see what they got to say.
MAGA!
Yes, yes.
MAGA!
Yes.
Are you home?
Yes, I am.
Are you awake?
Uh-huh.
Are you awake yet? Do you see what's happening?
Yep. See, these are the dummies, y'all. I've been waiting to laugh at these stupid people. Now, you see this? They think they're owning us. That's the funny part about this girl. Yeah, she thinks that we're sitting back going, oh man, what Trump is doing is scaring me. I thought that dude was going to be a good president, but I'm a little concerned, man. Look like he's taking over and stuff and doing things that might maybe we hitch our wagon to the wrong horse. Nope, she really thinks that she's owning us. Do you see? We're going, yes, we do. What's the problem? I don't see what the problem is. Like one of my friends who asked me 2 years after Trump won the first time. So how you feel about your boy Trump? I love it. You still support him? Absolutely. What? Really? Yes, I do. I mean, even after how bad things have gotten, how bad have things gotten? Couldn't tell me that. At the end of the conversation, she was left with nothing. Couldn't tell me that. I'm going, see? You think that we're all sitting back going, oh, shoot, man, Trump's going too far. And we're going, great. This is how delusional these folks are. So here she thinks she's owning us.
He's taking over the D.C. City Police.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, are you awake yet?
Yes, we've been awoke. We never sleep. Like you woke sleep folks. You sleepwalkers. That's what they are. These are sleepwalkers. They swear up and down they're awake because they're up moving and stuff, but their brain's not functioning. They're sleepwalkers. And we're sitting back going, no, we don't sleep at all. This is how I sleep. Eyeballs always open. Dang on it. So now here this lady is talking about, are you awoke yet? He's taking over DC. We're going, you act like we don't see this. You act like we're all the MAGA folks out there protesting and mad about this and concerned. They're not. You know why? Because we're going, great. This is the leadership that we voted for.
This is a regime. This is a full government takeover.
A full government takeover. See, now this is the result of all of the crazy accusations and response from the left. It's a full takeover. That full government takeover. Boy, I tell you, their delusion is fascinating. Full government takeover. So, just like this up and down, Trump's a straight up dictator and all of this stuff, but yet none of these crazy left-wing commentators are being arrested. None of these late night liberal hosts that's dogging Trump every day are being arrested. None of these stupid folks that get on the internet are being censored like they were doing us. Yeah. See, right now, I'm pretty sure YouTube didn't send out notifications to hardly anybody. There's a small percentage of my subscribers and stuff like that. I highly doubt if that's what's happening when it comes down to all these liberal commentators that get out there and all that stuff. They lived with impunity when it came down to spreading their liberal logic all over the internet under Biden. But we had to sit back and talk in code and things like that. But now, you don't see Trump going on sending the FBI to negotiate with all of these platforms to silence these dummies. No? Okay, but it's a full government takeover.
Having a little bit of a mental health day.
Oh, God. That's every day. That is every day with these liberals. A mental health day. I'm pretty sure they can miss a whole year of work because I'm having another mental health day because somewhere out there, Orange Man's doing something bad. How do you live your life this way? See, this is the condition that Democrats and the fake news have put these people in with their everyday overreaction and demonization of Trump for years. For years. Now, all of a sudden, Trump's back in, and these people are thinking that, oh my God, Hitler's back. He's taking over the whole country. This is dictatorship and all of this stuff. And yet, if they just step outside, walk around, they'll find that none of these things are true. None of them are true. But this is how they're living their life. Listen to this lady who needs a serious counselor to sit down with her, like me. Not the ones that's going to tell her, your feelings are, validated. And no, I'm going to say, get over your TDS. Look at her.
Didn't sleep last night after hearing the news of what was happening in Washington, D.C.
Didn't sleep. I probably wouldn't sleep if I had to worry about people coming in my house, robbing me, carjacking me. Those are reasons not to sleep. But here you are. When Trump sends in folks to eliminate the crime, and you're talking about I couldn't sleep last night. Right now, you should be going, the liberals sleep at night. You should be sleeping very comfortably because of the crime issues being addressed, but not you. Yeah, you're wide awake because there's police officers out there making sure crime goes down, and you're staying up because you're worried about what? Less carjackings and stuff. This is liberal logic.
Also, what Pete Hegseth said or posted yesterday on his social media about only men voting.
What?
These people are crazy.
Yep, there it is. We are being overwhelmed by folks that have mental issues. Some of them been made to become crazy because of TDS. In normal times, folks would probably not have, exposed. Like Trump ignited the crazy gene that is just, as soon as he came on the scene, that gene went crazy. And I'm saying, wow, how do you get to this point? How do you get to this point in your life where you're living miserable? Do you know how much chaos Joe Biden wreaked, his administration wreaked on our country? I didn't lose not one night of sleep. Not one. I didn't agree with what he was doing. I called it out. I did shows. I watched video clips, and y'all saw me. Y'all lived it. We all lived it together. But what I didn't do is walk around talking about I'm not being able to come in today because I stayed up last night thinking of how Joe Biden has an open border and how Joe Biden is didn't lose any sleep. Only sleep I might have lost a bit is when I saw what they were doing to my channel, which they're still doing to my channel. And that's all because I'm going, hey, man, they're trying to mess with my livelihood. They're trying to mess with my audience. They're trying to mess with my message, all of this stuff. And that was really anger. I was just ticked off over what they're doing, which I still am ticked off what they're doing. But nonetheless, still didn't lose sleep. Went to sleep afterwards. Got up, kept it moving. But not these people. Listen to this one. Look at this one.
I will not allow a Republican in my home. These folks will sell a child to a predator for $1.
Says the folks who support the party, who grooms and all of that stuff and goes into schools and pushes all of this sexuality on kids. Says the person who supports the party where Joe Biden is caressing and sniffing and touching on little kids, and rumors and stuff of all of these liberal left folks like Bill Clinton flying around and checking out all those tenderonis on that plane. See how dumb these people are? So dumb. So here she is, just making that statement. I'm going, what does that got to do with it? Where's that? Any evidence of that? Or are you just saying, why are you even using that?
Why would you go into a place that hires these people? They have literally said that they don't believe in reality. They believe in alternative fact.
As this lady is living in a complete false reality, do you see the irony in this? Do you see the hypocrisy or the delusion? Yeah, she's not aware that she's really what she's talking about. She's projecting all of this mess on us, and we're going, you don't know what you're talking about, do you? You're the one living in a false reality. All of these Democrat followers, all of these folks who just blindly absorb their talking points and their lies and their rhetoric and their propaganda, these are the same folks that was masked up forever Not just following their own logic and reality, looking around. Wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. No, we'll obey. Tell us what else we should be thinking about, and we'll go out there and make fools of ourselves on the internet by saying that we are the ones who are living in a false reality. Let's continue listening to this dodo.
You're going to let someone who believes in alternative facts do your taxes? You're going to let someone who believes in alternative facts cook your food?
I don't want.
You hear these people? Boy, they are a gem. They have no idea that they really are the animals in the zoo. Yeah, they're in the zoo probably looking out going, look at all these animals walking up to us and looking at us through this glass. This is ridiculous. With a bunch of stupid humans. As the monkeys are throwing poop on each other and acting up, they don't realize they're the spectacle. They're the ones that everybody is looking at going, look at these stupid monkeys out there throwing poop on each other. They have no idea how stupid they are. But yet here you are in there with the poop on your head talking about, look at those stupid humans and stuff like that. It's just sniffing and eating mites off each other's back. There it is. Like the stupid humans, they don't know how great these mites taste. Let's continue. Here's another one.
Watch him on the news. I can only watch clips because it makes me too angry. So why did I decide to watch the live press conference? I don't know. Torturing myself somehow. How is this man the president of the United States?
Because he's great. And we got more sane people right now in America at this point than we got stupid people like you. How is this man the president? You didn't say that about Joe Biden when he was falling up and down steps, tripping over everything, falling asleep everywhere, couldn't put together sentences, couldn't negotiate with other leaders. You didn't say that? You ain't said none of that? This is how dumb these people are. Once again, she's out there spreading that stupidity all over the internets. All over the internets for us to sit back and laugh at. So let's finish hearing her sit back and give her assessment of Donald Trump's takeover.
Let me show you.
Yes, let's see.
President-elect Donald Trump has officially swept all 7 battleground states. Arizona is the last state to be called. The final electoral vote count, Trump 312 to Vice President Harris's 226.
Just in case you were wondering, how did this man become the president of the United States? That's how.
And you ain't black.
This is not.
Oh, here's another one. So let's see the freckled faced girl with the bull ring in her nose come out and talk about this totalitarian takeover. She's scared. Here we go.
Is this not a call to go to war?
See, there we go. See, these are the victims of people who listen to folks like Maxine Waters. I think this president is trying to push us towards a civil war. So now this dummy's talking about, is this not a call to go to war? Who's going to go to war? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's my question. Yeah. So now all of a sudden these folks on the left talking about, we're going to fight back and we're ready for civil war, but we don't own any AR-15s because we were the ones out here talking about guns right here. They need to be banned and stupid. And what are you going to be doing if a civil war did break out? Using your Molotov cocktails. That only works if you get up close. These people don't understand what they're advocating for when they try to suggest we need to go into a civil war. I'm going, y'all don't realize that if that happened, conservatives, we own the market when it comes down to that. Y'all don't want those kind of problems. If that was the case, we would have went ahead and did that under the treatment of the Biden administration, but we didn't because we're civil. We believe in law and order. Yeah, we believe in the Constitution. That would be the last result when it comes down to our country. But these folks, she's up here talking about going to war because Trump is cleaning up the crime in Washington. Do you see how simple-minded these people are? Because Trump is exercising his actual law, his actual constitutional right to do this in D.C. And she thinks that they need to go to civil war. Now, you know how stupid you would be to rush into D.C. ready to go to civil war, and you're going, wait a minute, I came in here expecting them to be whipping black folks, whipping people of color, and all they're doing is cleaning up the crime. I'm coming in here ready to put my life on the line, go into civil war, and all I see is less carjackings, less murders, and I'm saying, we need to go to war over that. Do you see how dumb liberals are? Boy, I tell you, man, let's continue to laughing at how stupid these people are.
Like, I'm confused.
Yeah, you are.
I'm confused. What's the fuck? Hold up. What is he still doing here?
He just lies and goes off on these tangents. Clearly is demented.
Clearly! Look, that right there is the face of dementia. Mentity. She's broken down mentity. So clearly it's demented. There you go. Boy. You know, I wish I could just download common sense into their brain just for a quick second so they can really see themselves as they are. And then remove the chip. Yeah, take it away. So, did you see? Did you see how stupid you are? I gave you a common sense chip just for a few seconds so you can see the reality of the situation. I pulled you out the matrix just for a few seconds. Now you see how stupid you sound and look? Do you want to go back in? Do you want to go back in, or are you going to go ahead and gobble down these red pills? Oh, do you want the blue ones? Go ahead, go back to sleep. Go right back to sleep.
Clearly.
Look in the mirror.
Thank you. Here she goes.
They believe
Here we go.
that he's just cleaning up the streets. Can you imagine being so delusional
Boy.
that you think he's trying to clean up the streets?
Can you believe that this woman, can you imagine being so delusional that you think Trump is trying to do something more than clean up the streets? That's what she should be saying. That's what we all are saying. You folks think Trump's doing what? Again, I'm sorry. He's sending in the National Guard and he's sending in all these extra law enforcement people to do what again? What's the end game? Oh, so he's just taking over DC to do what? I need to know the end game to this. So now she thinks it's more than just cleaning up the streets. So then please tell us, what is it then, if it's not that?
Crime in DC is down.
Oh boy. These folks eat anything that is shoved right down their throat. Anything that's shoved down their throat. I don't eat nothing that I don't recognize or know what it is. Okay, I'm not that guy that just goes into a restaurant. People, oh, you want to try this? No. I want to go to something I can identify. I don't want to sit back and have a hard time pronouncing the food on the menu. I like the how do you pronounce that? I'll take it. What is it? Never heard of that ingredient. Never heard of this food. No, give me something that I know. Okay, that's what I'll eat, but not them. They're like Mikey. They'll eat anything. There you go. So here she is, swearing up and down. Crime is down because the Democrats and stuff told her. They told her that, y'all.
Like 34%, I think, was the last numbers. It's not an unsafe city, you people.
It isn't. Go ahead, little naive white lady, and walk around DC in the middle of certain hours or things like that. Or just, veer off the path just a little too far into a dangerous neighborhood and see what happens. See what happens to you. So now these are the dumb liberals who would rather live recklessly than to accept that Trump is actually addressing a real problem. These are the naive dummies who would sit back and be naive enough to allow our country to fall into chaos with illegal immigration, with crime, with all of these things, because they'll swear up and down. Democrats, they run our cities great because of their liberal ideology and policies, and Orange Man is only doing these things not because he wants us to have a safe, strong country, because he's a dictator. So we'd rather the alternative than him cleaning up the streets. We'd rather go ahead and believe a lie that crime is on the low and all of this stuff, and it's not even a problem. Forget the actual folks who live in these cities that say, yeah, man, crime is off the chain. So here this dumb person is, leaving all this dumbness all over the internets.
Maybe if you got off your damn couch, stopped watching Fox News, and actually traveled and go places, maybe to DC, maybe you could learn.
No, that's not happening. Yeah, travel. Nope, not happening. Not going anywhere near an SO brand city. I don't need to try something and know it's bad. There you go. I'm good. Yeah, don't be sticking a Hunter Biden crack pipe in my face talking about you want to try this crack. No, I'm cool. It's great. No, I'm okay. I've seen enough evidence to know that crack is bad. I don't need to try it to find out. I don't need to come to DC to say, oh, I thought I just came to see if crime was bad up here. Uh-oh, where's my car going? Where's my car going? I'm not in it. Why is my car leaving me? Who is that young little scholar who just drove off? He's what, 13? Just stole my man truck? Not doing it. But here she is. Maybe if you come off that. Nope. We're good enough to see. We're good when it comes down to seeing what's going on in y'all ran cities there. We don't need to come. Yeah, I'm not coming to Chicago to see if is there really all these shootings that going on. Not going out to LA.
Learn a little history, go in the museums and stuff, then you would know.
It's going
to coughing up all of that liberalism. Well, here's another one. Here she's back. Here we go.
take us stopping work, okay? Do you guys get that? Like, we have to strike. We have to stop paying our bills. We have to stop living this insanity.
No, you're the one that's living the insanity. You're talking about striking, talking about not paying your bills. Yeah, and I've been seeing this all over the internet. They're swearing up and down, we should do stupid stuff as liberals. Let's stop buying stuff. Yes, our small little group of crazy people aren't going to buy stuff. And that's going to make Trump do what? Step down? You're not making any difference. You quitting your job. You saw the one girl a couple weeks ago where she was like, I'm probably not going to have a job when I get back, but I don't have the money to go down to Alligator Alcatraz. But I'm about to jump in my car, travel there with no money, no gas, no plan of action. Probably won't have a job when I get back. But I'm going down there to fight against something. There it is. That's how insane we've become in our society. Doesn't it feel good, y'all, to be a sane person? It feels good. Look at that. We got 140 people watching and 140 likes. Sweet. But it feels so good to be able to recognize insanity. That's the, I guess, the blessing in all of this. We're reassured that we have sanity when we watch folks that are insane. See, the only way you know what is reality and what isn't reality is you have to have a comparison. We're able to sit back and look at this and go, wow, what this person is suggesting is ridiculous, it's delusional, and it's not accurate. And it's a small group of people that, considering the size of America, who actually have gone this far into thinking that what is happening is worth me quitting my job, going on strike. Yeah, the rest of us are sitting back going, are you kidding me? Even if I was a liberal, but not a crazy, insane one, I would keep doing stuff. I would still go to work. I would not get to the point where I'm sitting on the internet talking about we need to strike and stop working and stop buying stuff because of Trump. Like, that's going to make you do what? Step down? That's what's going to do? You hear that cat in the background? That's what she lives with right there. That's her, the person she snuggles up with, that cat, that pussy cat. That's what she got right there.
I'm not okay.
I know
These are people who don't believe in science or medicine. They will let chicken sit at room temperature for weeks because they don't believe that diseases exist.
What the hell does that mean?
Boy, I tell you, oh man, I tell you, it's so good to be sane. Won't you take me to crazy town? Let's hear that one again. Hey, when's the last time y'all left y'all chicken to sit out for days because you don't believe in science? Now, this right here is a pure example. Look at her. Yeah. She's looking crazier and crazier. That woman right there, fishing for that crazy thought in her head. Like, let me see what the other crazy things I could say to go ahead and pretend that other people are crazy and it's not me.
Sit at room temperature for weeks.
Weeks, y'all. Weeks. Did y'all ever do that?
I'm not okay.
We all know
These are people who don't believe in science or medicine.
We don't believe in science or medicine. Let Kev start, aching somewhere or something go wrong with my body. I will be the first person that bounce and go straight to the hospital. We don't believe in false science. We don't believe in all of this mess that y'all just come up with to control society and shove down our throats and get us addicted to all kind of stupid stuff. We don't believe in this, false accusation of, we have a whole bunch of climate change coming in now. I need y'all to obey us. Give us complete control over your life. This is the kind of car you can drive. This kind of oven you can use. This is the kind of air conditioning you can use. Matter of fact, you can't get that. We'll use the air conditions. For you peasants, y'all, you can't use the air conditioning. It takes up too much. We're not falling for that like you are. But now she's talking about chicken. Okay? Now I know something about some chicken. Okay, I'm black. You know, black folk love their chicken. Fry it up too. Double fried, okay? Want it nice and greasy and crunchy. Now, I ain't never left no chicken out for how long?
They will let chicken sit at room temperature for weeks because they don't believe that diseases exist.
For weeks. For weeks. Where did she just pull that out of her stupid brain and drop that out there for weeks, y'all? So that's something that we as conservatives, we always do. We leave our chicken out for weeks and stuff because we don't believe it will go ahead and smell. How about the fact that it starts to smell like dumpster juice? That lets us know. So we're so stupid as conservatives. Oh, God, that smells. Let's throw it in the frying pan.
What the hell does that mean?
It's not sustainable, okay? So I've just been f***ing crying all day because I'm depressed.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Me. Cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby, cry. Say cry, baby, cry. Come on. Say cry, baby, cry. Ha. Say cry, baby, cry. Mazio, cry, baby, cry. Come on. Ha, cry. Do it in James Brown style. Ha. The baby on the bus goes round and round. Ha. Round and round. Bobby? That's what we need. We need some James Brown singing, cry, baby, cry. So now let's continue because she's been crying all the time on that couch right there. Probably ain't been to work or nothing, cuddled up with her pussycat.
Because of the world that we live in, the society that was made by the patriarchy for the patriarchy.
Jeez,
When half of the population is my gender, half of the population is women.
No. What do you mean your gender? That right there's gender misappropriation or something like that. I don't know. What are you talking about? Half of society? You can't define what gender they are. They're all gender neutral and they should decide. But you see these people, they are victims. Victims, man. And you can see the progression of how they became victims when Trump rode on the scene. This has been in the works for about 8 to 10 years now of programming to the point where this is the final outcome of years and years of lies about Trump, lies about conservatives, lies about MAGA, lies about all of this. And now, years later, you got people at this point, this should be studied. This is like a medical condition, a mental illness that people suffer from. It's real, man. Trump derangement syndrome. These people are sitting around throwing out all of this mess, that my gender, and the years and years of the patriarchal system. Liberalism and TDS combined does this to a person.
Women, I just don't know what the we are doing on any level. And the fact that we just continue on like this is not happening.
What's happening? See, this is where they're disconnected from reality. Continue on at that, like this is not happening. I'm going, what's happening? If you set this woman down in Kevin's corner, not on a liberal or some couch of some raggedy behind the psychologist or whatever, they'll just sit back. Oh, I see, taking notes. See, what you have to learn to do is just accept the reality. No, I would be going, well, what's actually happening? Please tell me. I need to know, why is it that all of these humans are walking around in America unabated, living their life, working good jobs, hanging out with their family, going on vacation, not being arrested by Trump's Gestapo unless you're an illegal immigrant, not being arrested by the extra enforcement of police in DC unless you're a criminal. What are you talking about? Yeah, but in your head, it's chaotic. It's crazy. They are living in a false reality.
Is asinine to me. Okay, it's driving me insane. It's making me not be able to sleep at night and then sleep until 1 p.m. the next day.
Wow.
Because my body is just in fight or flight, trauma, anxiety ridden all the time. And
Somebody go get that straight jacket. That's right. Go ahead and get that straight jacket. Give her the mummy arms. There you go. We want you wrapped up like a mummy because you've gone insane in the brain. Insane in the brain.
I can't handle it.
Because as you know, we won 3 elections, okay? And some people want us to do a 4th. I don't know. We'll have to think about that. You saw the new hat. The hottest hat is it says Trump 2028.
And that right there will break them. That right there will look. That's just how they are. That's just how it goes on. But it's true. Everybody else is looking at them like this. Yeah, on the way out.
These people are crazy.
They are crazy. They are crazy. So now, Trump be trolling everybody with this whole notion of 2028. And they absolutely go nuts over this. It's obvious. Even Gavin Newsom. It's obvious. Somebody sent me a hat that said Trump 2028. And yeah. And see, they act like they hate Trump, but they really love him. He's good for business for these folks. Can't deny him. Why would they want to? You need him. So now, look at this. This happened the other day. Check this out.
All over the country today, people protesting the recent actions by the Trump administration. And we saw hundreds of people right here in San Francisco showing up, and they had a lot on their minds. ABC 7 News reporter.
Let's go out to Crazy Town. This is ground zero of Crazy Town. San Francisco is where it all started. So let's go ahead out there and see what they're whining about.
Tara Campbell caught up with this crowd. From San Francisco to Texas.
What is that? What is that?
Washington, D.C. and beyond. Protesters gathering nationwide Saturday for more than 200 rallies in 34 states dubbed Fight Back the Trump Takeover.
Yeah, we want more crime. Oh, look at this one. Look at this one. Now, remember, these are the people that's out here swearing up and down Trump's taking over. And he's crazy. He's a dictator. Okay, now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be associated with the old crazy lady right here. Watch this.
The purpose of this effort is to remind people to keep fighting this authoritarianism and seeking democracy in their own communities.
To keep fighting this authoritarianism and...
You see that mouth?
You know, gingivitis is the #1 cause of all tooth decay.
Yep. You see that old lady? Totalitarianism, keep fighting. All up in the camera's face. Crazy. Crazy. See, once again, Trump's a dictator, taking over what? What are you talking about? He just want to bring down crime.
I'm 69. I've never seen anything like what's going on.
You see that? You see the delusion we're working with? She's 69, and what she's claiming, she never seen anything like what she's seeing take place. And yet, all you have to do is ask her, what are you seeing? To get into these people's brain, what are you seeing? What is your interpretation of a takeover? That's my question.
I've been through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. This takes a cake.
Takes a cake.
I've never seen it this bad.
This bad. This bad. I almost feel bad for these people. We're sitting back going, things are great. You're talking about Trump solving world issues. He's being, his name thrown out there for winning the Nobel Peace Prize. He's trying to stop wars and stop crime. But these people interpret this stuff as bad. Stop wars, stop crimes, stop illegal immigration, and stop us getting the banana in the tailpipe when it comes down to tariffs and trade. But yet, things I've never seen it this bad. This goes to show how disconnected these people are from reality. Unbelievable. Yep, stopped 6 wars so far and working on the 7th.
When he announced the fascist takeover of policing in D.C., he was delivering a message to black people.
Here we go. That he's going to keep your neighborhood safe from other black people. That's what you're saying? Or here you go, a soul brother #1 who they didn't want and compromise, brought him out there to speak. Of course, here comes racism.
And everybody else who was listening. Listen to how he phrased this.
What would he say?
There are marauding mobs of young gangsters rampaging our streets and causing crime.
Young gangsters rampaging our streets and causing crime. Did he say young black kids? Did he say that? Nope. But of course, this guy is going to suggest that that's what he meant. But see, here's the reality of it. It's true. Even though he's going to sit back and say, he's probably talking about black kids. I would love this guy to actually argue against that fact. I would love this black dude right here who would rather see black neighborhoods descend into chaos and violence and mediocrity and all of these things and stinking thinking. He'd rather see that than have Trump go ahead, put the smack down. This way we can sift it like wheat. We can separate the knuckleheads from the good ones. We can get the bad elements out of the black neighborhood so that those black folks can live safely and peacefully, and they won't be contaminated by the bad element that you would rather just stay just like it is, because you don't want Trump to seem like he's actually cleaning up the issues in the black neighborhood, which are young black folks who's acting a fool. And until he can show me otherwise of a whole bunch of carjackings being done by little white kids, a whole bunch of them running in, smashing and grabbing stores by a whole bunch of little white kids, then shut up. Let Trump and the police deal with those elements, because black people like to live safely too. They like to live safely too. See?
Who the hell was he talking about when he said marauding mobs of young gangsters? He was...
You hear somebody in the background, the Proud Boys. These folks ain't even on one accord when it come down to their liberal propaganda. The Proud Boys.
Talking about black people.
Oh boy, here we go. Yep, that's how I feel. And these people come out and they waste their time. Don't they have jobs? The Trump must go now. Where's he going? Now you know he's not going anywhere. You're out there just yelling, wasting your time, looking foolish, looking stupid, and also giving me wonderful material to mock you over.
In the name of humanity, refuse to accept a fascist America.
Yeah!
Fascist America.
Y'all hear that cut right there she just dropped? In the name of humanity. Oh, yeah.
Of humanity, refuse to accept a fascist America.
A fascist America. Yeah. Bruce Springsteen next to her.
A fascist America.
Aggressively resurrecting genocidal white supremacy.
Oh, God. That genocidal white supremacy, a fascist dictator, unbelievable. Anti-free Palestine and all of this stupid stuff she's reading off of. Boy, liberals, I'm so glad, first of all, that Trump won. But I'm also so glad that my brain is not warped like this. If y'all ever see Kev out there, it's one of these little protests. And I'm not mocking it. I'm not covering it. Why are y'all here whining again? But I'm out here doing stuff like this. Come get me. Come get me. Yeah, somebody go ahead, sit me in a chair like Clockwork Orange, strap me down, take my eyes open, and deprogram me. Unbelievable, these people.
Reversing the gains not only of the 1960s, but even of the Civil War and Resurrection.
Just a whole bunch of stuff. They're in a constant state of anger, constant state of trying to relitigate the past, and I'll bring the past up to the present and make excuses for this, and a gumbo of issues. Can't stick to one thing, can't stay focused. This is my chance now. I got a microphone. I'm going to list all of the liberal issues that we have because I'm angry for nothing. Constantly walking around mad, offended, angry, in a state of protest all the time. How do you even function in society when your whole life revolves around this kind of stupid stuff?
Reconstruction, that was great.
Because I think our democracy is slipping away if we don't stand up against Trump and his fascist policies.
Fascism is taking over this country.
We need to get the whole fascist thing shut down and gone away.
Now y'all see Willie Nelson? Y'all see out there, and this is what liberals now, they want us to jump on board with these folks who got a problem with what Trump doing. All of these folks who got a problem with what Trump is doing, and they get highlighted, makes me say, I think I'm on the right side. When I see craziness like this, look at these. Look at the Pink Panther right here. These are the people they bring in for their protest against what Trump is doing. And they want us to see this, and the visual of this only drives me further right. Further right. How far right can we go? Right now, I want to be on the balance beam, the edge, like, all right, I'm not right enough. I might have to jump off the right cliff. When I see stuff like this, it makes me flee further right. Listen to what the Pink Panther got to say, y'all, at the protest.
I am so thrilled to be here with y'all. My name is Bridget Bandit, and I am a born and raised proud Texas drag queen. drag queen, I was a leader at my church.
What? What? Are you kidding me? Before this person was a drag queen, they were a leader at the church. You might have not have wanted to mention that right there. The crowd even is like, what?
Where I led youth group and I would lead church camp.
Unbelievable. Now, do you see? These are the folks on the left, the ones that send out mad over what Trump is doing. Leader at the church with the youth group and overseeing the kids at the camp and stuff like that. What kind of church were you in? That's my question. Were you still dressing like that while you were influencing the kids? Were you trying to go ahead and, drop some subliminals in the kids' minds? What kind of watered down church were you in? Good grief. But these are the folks they bring out to protest against Trump, to show us that they're out there fighting against fascism. And these folks wouldn't know fascism if it bit them in the butt. Oh, here's some more protesters. That band sound raggedy. Sound like they need more practice. Right now, this is all right. Just come on. We're going to wing it. Let's go ahead and wing it. Fire it up. So let's see. Resist now. Boy, they're in every key. Every note is off. Can they get on one accord? Good grief. But there it is. These are their protests, y'all. Because they're fighting against Trump and all of his fascism and his authoritarian takeover and all that stuff of D.C. And they want us to jump on board. That's right. These are the folks that's supposed to accurately assess what Trump is doing. We're supposed to accept their opinion and assessment of what Trump is doing over the results of what Trump is doing and the reality of the crime that he's addressing. So this is who they send out to tell us that we need to watch out. We need to stop Orange Man Band from taking over. Unreal.
He's telling you, black people and others, that I'm going to beat black people down so far that they will think they were up.
They would think they were up. What does that even mean? I'm going to beat black people down so far that they would think they were up. What is he telling us? Did Trump come out and say, yes, that's right, I'm going to beat black people down? This kills me, man. You see how just far out these people's thinking is. This guy really, goes out there and says, no, you know what's beating black people down? Crime in black neighborhoods, raggedy Democrat policies, lack of education, broken homes, all of that's beating them down far. You big dummy, doing more damage to the black community coming out and spreading bullshit like this than what Trump is doing by trying to clean up D.C., which happens to probably impact a lot of black folks. Just like deportation of a lot of illegal immigrants. It's going to impact most likely a majority of people of color than just white folks. Because the majority of them were coming from countries that it just happened to be people of color. Not to say that white folks aren't sprinkled in, but it's going to impact the masses. So here they are right here, trying to pretend that he's going to beat down black people so far they're going to feel like they're up. What are you that don't even make sense. But they send this dummy out here to say that.
Back in the days of slavery and Jim Crow segregation.
Oh, God. Back in the days of slavery and Jim Crow. This is how I feel. This is how I feel as a black person listening to that.
Can y'all at least be willing to admit how hard that is to watch?
Oh, it's painful. Painful!
Tell the truth, y'all.
Yeah, Sean, that's right. We heard a variety of reactions today to the announcement from the White House. Some people expressing anger, but others expressing happiness and saying they were frustrated with crime. As far as the situation we're at right now, this is a protest against the Trump administration that just got underway a few minutes ago here at DuPont Circle. You can hear those chants from protesters saying...
Now that looks a little thin. That looks a little thin. But you know what they should be doing? They should be putting on those signs. Crime must go now. They should go ahead, rewrite that, go down to those neighborhoods, and see how long they last. Go out there with your picket signs and going, crime must go now, without the support and protection of the police, and see what happens. See what happens. Because that's what should be going. Crime must go now, but not these folks. It's Trump.
Trump must go now and holding up signs that say the same. This is the second such protest we've seen today, with folks saying they do not want the federal government to take over the DC Police Department.
Calls for solidarity as some district residents protest the Trump administration's takeover of DC police.
But he isn't interested in actually helping people.
Here we go. Read my talking points. This guy right here with that big curly afro talking about something he's not interested in helping people. So then tell us, oh wise one, what is Trump's real motive?
He would rather demonize homeless DC residents to score cheap political points and
demonize. Can't just be simply, these are homeless folks that are in the street defecating all over the place, taking drugs out in the open, and we need to move them somewhere else. We got to clean up the streets. Nope, not these folks. These folks would rather live in a city of squalor, chaos, homeless folks laying all over the place, drugs and needles everywhere, and violence. That's what they'd rather do. Because cleaning it up is demonizing these people. Unreal.
Stoke division.
We will not stand here and allow authoritarianism.
Authoritarianism. This she is. I was talking about her my last show. Her authoritarianism.
DC.
I want everybody to go talk to your neighbors. I want everybody to put out DC flags. I want you to put out Free DC banners. I want you to put out the Free DC logo.
But other district residents say they're happy with the president's announcement.
And placing the DC Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control.
I'm just ecstatic. I've been saying that a long time ago. The federal government should take over the D.C. Police Department.
And Trump earlier saying he's deploying the National Guard to the nation's capital and placing police under federal control now. Let's bring in D.C. Police Union Chairman.
Then let's hear what he got to say. Let's hear what he got to say as we close. Yeah, because you remember, Trump don't care about the violence and stuff in there. The crime is down. Crime is down. So let's hear what this man has to say before we bounce.
Thank you so much, sir, for being here. So from your view, is this necessary?
Well, look, we completely agree with the president that crime in the District of Columbia is out of control and something needs to be done with it.
Where's Abby Phillips? Where's all the folks who sweeping down crime? This guy right here is on the ground level, so he knows. Let's see.
We have to go back to how we got here, though. In 2020, the D.C. City Council passed an enormous amount of legislation that handcuffs police officers, exposes them to administrative, civil, and even criminal liability.
And you wonder why crime went up. There you go. They treated these police officers just like that former principal that I had when I first got into education, who tied the arms of the teachers, and they was wondering why all of the chaos increased when it comes down to the discipline issues in the school. They was wondering why.
And when they do their jobs properly. And now 5 years later, our authorized sworn strength is 4,000 sworn police officers. We currently have 3,180.
Yeah, because folks don't want to be a part of that. When they say, I'm going to be a police officer for nothing. If I go ahead and apply and become a cop in this SO-ran Democrat city, I'll be a cop for nothing. Hey, buddy, so you can't be up here keying those cars. Man, shut up, man, whatever. And call up Mayor Bowser. She got my back. Call up the other woke police chief who don't know what the chain of command is. They got my back. I'm under a certain age. Y'all can't do nothing to me. That's what would happen. So now you, as a police officer, got to sit there and go, man, see? Man, can't, no. That's all you can do.
So we have more than 800 vacancies for the position of police officer. And the way the department makes up for that gap is through 2 million hours of mandatory overtime every year. So the fact that we need help from federal law enforcement and maybe even the National Guard, it shouldn't come as a surprise. And we agree with that. I think one of the issues here, though, is that we all know that's going to be temporary. So in order to fix this problem and make sure that it doesn't ebb and flow and that the feds come in and we lower crime and then they leave and we're left holding the bag, it's very important that people know that there is underlying legislation that needs to be corrected so that we can actually properly staff this police department in order to properly police the city.
So basically what he's saying is that the woke DC leadership handcuffed the officers and making their job more difficult, and thus crime went up and police officers went down. Yeah, because they're going, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be brought in and Derek Chauvin because I actually did my job. Yeah, when the leadership doesn't have our back, why would we go out of our way to go ahead and try to bring crime down? So what we're going to do instead, because we got bad policies that led to the crime going up, is we're going to get somebody who's compromised and will come out and cook the books and make it appear that crime is going down, so you can't hold us accountable for our raggedy behind policies that resulted in crime going up. Yeah, that's what happened. All right, we're almost done. Let's go.
Increase in federal surveillance and guns on the streets really the answer here?
Yes. Now, do you see this dummy with this bobblehead, this skinny behind neck, this race baiter?
Rena?
Put it this way, Brad, it's a starting point. And I'm not somebody who says that lightly. I say that as somebody who has been a DC resident for nearly 2 decades. I have seen firsthand what DC has gone through post-pandemic, and it has been tough. And though crime may be down right now, it will come right back up because Mayor Muriel Bowser's leadership has failed time and time.
Stop her, Al Sharpton. You weren't expecting that. This lady's a liberal, too.
Time again. And I have given her a chance. Many people across the city have given her a chance to say, you can do better for us. You can keep our communities safer from violent carjackings that have resulted in deaths. Deaths on K Street, which is a business hub. Death of an Uber driver simply trying to deliver food in Navy Yard. These stand out to me because these aren't isolated incidents. It's just part and parcel with what comes with raising a young family in the nation's capital like I have.
Oh my. By now they should be in skinny neck Al Sharpton's ear going, stop her. Stop her. You need to interrupt her. Interrupt her now.
Those things she all mentioned are all fine and well, but none of it speaks to how safe Washington, D.C. actually is. It is not a safe city. It is not a city that is well run because guess what? The minority seat on the council has never even been, in my recollection, for at least a decade and a half, if not more, been occupied by a member of a minority party.
But, you hear? Here comes the big butt. Doing the butt.
Republicans. So blame can be put everywhere. And I don't want to make this a partisan issue. My heart sinks when I think of the countless young people who are committing these crimes. Boys as young as 14.
Yeah.
We know there's a fatherlessness crisis, but I am saying this. The mayor needs to acknowledge that the city has failed. And she has had many chances to prove she can do better. The council has had many chances to prove they can do better.
But is it the mayor's job or the president's job?
We've been talking.
Is it the mayor? Because obviously you didn't listen to the lady's whole rant. Skinny neck. Yeah. If it was the mayor's job, then she should have been doing it. The woman was just laying out a case to show that the mayor ain't doing her job. But here you come in. Is it the mayor's job or the president? Well, if you can't do the job, how about you send in somebody who can? If she was doing her job, you think the president would still feel like he had to come in and do it? You think Trump's just walking around looking for things that aren't problems just to jump on board and say, oh, I know that's not a problem. They're doing a great job over there, so I'm going to go ahead and step in. No, the only reason he felt he needed to step in is because of how horrible she's doing. And then we'll close with this lady who, of course, said something that actually goes against the false and fake news narrative. Here we go.
Talking so much about the numbers, and yeah, usually that's how you play devil's advocate, is you talk about, oh, well, stats say crime is down. However, I can tell you firsthand here in downtown DC where
this is not what they wanted to hear. Somebody who says, yeah, miss me with those bootleg stats and stuff. I'm on the ground level. I'm seeing it with my own eyeballs. I don't care about you saying that, well, look, that's just crime is down 30-some%. Crime is down 30-some%. Crime is down 30. Crime is down 30-some%. Crime is down. Tell me that all day long. But what I'm going to judge that on is me going outside and saying how many cars got stolen. Wow, do you see that? Look at these people in broad daylight. Look at this person get jumped. Look at this. Ooh, are they shooting again? They shooting again? That's the stuff that makes you feel like, okay, the streets are dangerous versus crime is down. Crime is down. Here we go.
we work right here around our bureau. Just in the past 6 months, there were 2 people shot. 1 person died, literally 2 blocks down here from the bureau. It was within the last 2 years that I actually was jumped walking just 2 blocks down from here. And then just this morning, one of my coworkers said her car was stolen a block away from the bureau. So we can talk about the numbers going down, but crime is happening every single day because we're all experiencing it firsthand while working and living down here.
Yep. That right there is the reality check that many of these people out there going, Trump must go. Trump must go. That always brings it home. When things happen to you, when you actually feel it and realize that, whoa, I'm out here protesting against stuff that is reckless and crazy that's going on. I'm out here supporting that, talking about some Trump must go, and I just got mugged That'll change your mind real quick. It's like all of these people out here, they just love illegal immigrants. Love them. Swearing down that Trump's a fascist and he just hates these people. And then you see all of the victims of illegal immigrant crime across the country. I guarantee you, if they had people in their family that was pro-illegal immigration, and then you find out an illegal immigrant was responsible for what? That changes your whole perspective. That makes you say, oh man, these folks got to go. They got to go. Yeah, now it's come home to me. Same thing. It ain't even got to be something like you get violently attacked or killed or something by an illegal immigrant. It just simply has to be they threw a whole bunch of them in your neighborhood. And you start seeing the effects and impact that it has on your community. Then you start going, hey man, somebody got to do something about these folks. Let this type of crime get dropped in all of these protesters' neighborhoods, all of these Democrat neighborhoods. Let this type of crime get dropped right into all of these fake news network hosts that's coming out talking about Trump's just doing this because he don't really care about crime and stuff. He does because he's racist. He racist. Let that mess get dropped in their neighborhood and watch them be talking about sending in the National Guard, just like they did up in Martha's Vineyard when a small drop of illegal immigrants got dropped in there and they sent in a full-blown National Guard for that. But yet when Trump sent them in up there in LA, this right here is overstepping, it's over, he's reaching it. All of that stupid stuff that they bring out. But yet when it comes to their neighborhood, their community, they're like, get them out of here. So there you have it, guys. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me again tonight. We are going to be back most likely tomorrow. Okay, get myself together. I think I'm back on track now with my sleeping. It might be in the morning, so keep your ear to the streets. Don't forget, please, please, please subscribe to my alternative channel. I'm over 1,000, y'all. We done cracked 1,000. Now we want to get those views up on those videos over there. So like I said, if you missed some stuff from my normal live stream, or you want just some smaller clips or takes or something like that, please go ahead and subscribe to my alternative channel. The links are below each video. Other than that, please hit the like button on your way out, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms. And let me see, did I miss anything? Come on, think here. Oh, and if you want to support the channel, you can do it through my Cash App, my PayPal link. And thanks to all those who gave in the super chat. Now, with that being said, let's get out of here. This is Law City. I know you see the way we tear up the place, yeah. Thank you, Don. Thanks to all of you. God bless. Take care.